Hey there, and welcome to the Turning 2020 movie review. And to get into this here, the director is Flora Sigismondi, and I'm pretty sure I'm not saying the name properly, and I do apologize for that. She's made films such as The Runaways, a really good biopic of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Great film, liked it. And a movie called Flicker. Never seen that one. The actors in this film is Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things fame and the It remakes. Also, Mackenzie Davis from Terminator Dark Fate, Blade Runner 2049, and The Martian with Matt Damon. Which I saw all three, and the least favorite out of all three was The Martian. Then it was Terminator Dark Fate, and Blade Runner was pretty cool. I like Blade Runner. And the music score was excellent, like pretty much spot on. Like they had the right sounds and the right everything for the right scenes. It was just perfect. They did good with the music score, which I cannot say with a lot of films. Sometimes they're half good, sometimes they're not. But this one did a good job. What it's about, I'm going to give you a quick like overall story type thing that's kind of on the back of the case. And then I'll give you my ideal of the story. A woman takes a job as a nanny for two young orphans at an old mansion in the Maine countryside. She notices that the kids are acting weirder than most kids and things start happening to the nanny, making her believe there is a malevolent entity. And that is basically like the overview on the back of the case. So now I'm going to have it where the movie starts off with a woman covered in blood and running to her car frantically, which I thought was interesting start for a film. She's running from the mansion, of course, and she gets into her car and she starts to drive away. And the camera then pans over to a little girl standing at the mansion window, staring out at the woman that's leaving, with her hand pressed against the glass, looking very upset and sad. And then it goes back to the woman in the car, and she has to get out to open up the gates. So she does that, and as she goes back to the car door to open it to get in, she sees a face staring back at her, but it's from behind her. And it's really really cool scene, and they kind of stop with that part of the movie, like they go on to somebody else. So it's the next day or next couple of days. They don't really tell you, but what they do though is when they're showing the new woman, she's watching the news. And on the news, they're talking about Kurt Cobain's funeral after 2 days of his death, and when the funeral is going to be, and making everyone know that it's the 90s. If you weren't born in the 90s, then you don't know. But I was born in the 80s, so I grew up through the 90s. I definitely knew. Either way, so the woman starts to go over her things, and she's talking to her roommate about taking a nanny's job over at a mansion. She's supposed to take care of only a little girl, not two kids. So she apparently is a teacher, a kindergarten teacher or a daycare teacher, and she wants to just watch one kid instead of a whole whack of kids. And either way, she decides to do that, and before she leaves to go to the mansion, she visits her mother, who just so happens to be a patient over at a psychiatric hospital. Time goes by there, they talk and whatnot. The woman finally makes it to the mansion, and the camera pans over the mansion, showing a very beautiful Gothic architecture. I mean, like, wow, it is a beautiful mansion. I really enjoyed that scene, and the woman then knocks on the door, and there's no answer, and then she rings the bell, and again, no answer, and she decides to walk around the mansion to see if there's any, like, landscapers, gardeners, or whatnot. She doesn't see nobody, but she notices that there's a greenhouse attached to the mansion, and she ends up walking into the greenhouse, where she meets up with this older lady that's taking care of the house itself, cooking and cleaning, and she doesn't have enough time or energy to take care of the kids, so that's why they need a nanny. And either way, the new nanny asks the older woman where the young girl is, and she's at the stables. So the nanny goes over to the stables to look for her, and she finds the young girl there. And the young girl shows her the rest of the place. As they're walking around the house, the young girl ends up stopping near the east wing of the house, and the new nanny wants to know why aren't they going further, and the young girl says she does not like to go into the east part of the house, the east wing. And the nanny asks why not. The little girl just smiles and laughs at her, kind of thing, and they take off, and the young girl shows more of the house to the nanny. And so later on that night, when the little girl's in her room ready to go to bed, the nanny walks by the girl's room and notices the little girl is standing by her window. And the little girl looks upset, and she asks her why, and they talk about the old nanny that was there. The new nanny puts the girl back in bed and goes to close the girl's window and sees a figure staring at her through the window and doesn't really think nothing of it and heads back to her room. And in the room that she's in, there is what looks like a taxidermied older lady there, and they say it's their grandmother, but I swear, man, it looks like a taxidermist old person. It's just crazy creep. I did not I would not have that in my room, that's for sure. Either way, so that night really things start really getting weird for the new nanny, and she kind of freaks out a bit, and she ends up finding out that the little girl has a brother, because he ends up showing up from school, who got kicked out of school and now is staying there, and she has to take care of them both. And that's when things get even more weirder, guys. I'm telling you, this film has a creep factor of like 50 to 100. I'm telling you, it's crazy. The kid, Finn Wolfhard, I have to say, outacted every single person in this film. I found he stole every scene. Kid's a great actor, man. He's going to be like, if he sticks with this, and after this virus crap is done there, he is going to be a crazy, crazy horror actor if he stays with it. What I liked about the film, it had a great creep factor and a fantastic, interesting story, except a very lame ending, and I do suggest to watch the alternate ending whenever possible, because to me, that should have been the true ending, not what they left in. Would I recommend it? Yes. Oh, yes. A big time yes for you guys, man. You should check this out. And that's going to be it for this review. And here is the trailer, guys. Enjoy.
Have you ever been a nanny?
This is my first live-in job.
The children are very special. They're thoroughbreds. You need to take charge here, Kate.
May I ask how your parents died?
Nothing should have to suffer.
I don't go in that part of the house.
Why not?
Shouldn't be in here. I know what you're afraid of. Keeping the lights on won't keep you safe.
What happened to your last nanny?
Like I tell.
Did you see that? I don't want to play anymore.
Stop now.
Why are you doing this?
Bad dreams?